Okay, in this video, we go for a move in number 16 here. We can make the move over here, and then we spin, and we go down to last place. So that was not ideal move for me. It's totally my bad. Yes, that was the preview. That's what's gonna happen this weekend. It was actually one of the most fun weekends of my life in Japan racing, though not in Thailand. I actually had a way better weekends than this. But I still think I want to show this out to you guys because was a really dramatic weekend. And the drama started before we even raced. So this footage was recorded plane. I flew to Japan's Airlines in Premium Eco. I highly recommend this airlines to you. It is really good in my opinion. So anyways, after that we went to some places and then we landed to Auto Paradise Gotemba in APG. Everybody calls that APG because it stands for Auto Paradise Gotemba. I've driven this track before in rentals, but I have never driven a two-stroke kart here. And I'm not gonna spoil it now. You can see for yourself later. This was on a Wednesday, so after that I went back to the hotel because the track wasn't open for driving. So yes, you can see on the screen now, Thursday practice, it rained. Here I have my coach give me some advice before I head out on the track for the first time. I think, yeah, that is before my first time. It was actually raining a little bit, so it's pointing at the corners and stuff. So yes, this is my first session. You can still see we mixed with cadets and then the other drivers are on the other side of the track. Normally, you know my nature that I am always fast in the rain, so that's why I don't tend to follow. And we actually really fast on the first session. I went P1 straight away, unofficially. So after that, it went dry at the end of the day. So he gave me a few pointers. So yes, let's switch to the wheel immediately.
Okay guys, it's me again. We're here racing in the EMA Asia Cup at Auto Paradise Gotemba in Japan. So today's practice is already done, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit about it. I have driven this track before in rentals, but this is my actual first time driving a senior or two-stroke in this track. So today's practice went okay. We did some laps in the rain because it rained for the whole day. My pace is pretty good. But tomorrow's there will be more drivers joining the field because today is just a Thursday and some people decided not to come. So I need to check, but tomorrow's plan is nothing much. Just find the best lines, find settings and find other stuff. So yeah, really excited for tomorrow and let's see how that goes. For now, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay guys, moving on to Friday practice now. See, really funny, this guy's actually collecting his wheel because his wheel actually came off and then he went across the track to collect it, so W guy. And then his mechanic also came to recover his car, which was really good. Yes, you can let's into onboard, shall we?
Okay.
Yes, I haven't driven Japan in a long time, so my brake pad is new. So I went out, of course, and that guy's car's not done. It was my first time on this track. It wasn't that wet. No, actually no, it was my second time because I did practice yesterday, but then my camera took a piss yesterday. Again, it broke. I don't know why GoPro is so fragile. Anyways, here's a little bit of the action. You're gonna see more of that later on. This session was actually so many cards broke in this session. I just don't know why. Because some people didn't do practice yesterday. It's probably that. See, we're sliding out of place because it's rain actually. You can see the tires. Doing everything here like that corner. It's a majority different of lines, but then I find that line is faster. So yes, first session done. Time for the pits. I want to show that too, because this thing is so annoying. Because like if someone's not looking, I almost crash into that first two. So yes, we're going to pits and time for the second session. As you can see over here, the next session was actually so wet I couldn't see anything. So this was the wettest session. But then I still perfected my driving. I was struggling with one corner especially. Here we go for a move. This turn is really easy because you can see these two guys are not taking the line that I'm taking, because my line was actually faster, because something that I figured out along with another driver who who was really good. He was a F3 top 10 level driver, so I kind of copied his line from him. But then, yes, that line was way faster, and the Japanese people would not figure that out, thinking the line faster, so it would be an overtaking spot. And also Japanese drivers also overtaking that spot a lot of many times. So third session, you can see a difference in track conditions. But actually later on in the session it would actually start raining again, but then you couldn't see that because something will happen that will. So let's go for a lap here. Turn 1, you have to brake after the light. But something you didn't do here, try to carry more speed as possible, go to the wide lines, but in the race, 4 wheels off that the first line, then it's track limits. I don't think it's fair because we actually had a international drivers actually had like a 1 hour protesting session about that, which I also attended. But then I feel like it doesn't give you advantage because the wide things are actually so bumpy that it's just gonna make your car slower. Anyways, I stopped talking about that. Turn 3, you know the lines. S, just climb the first curb. It's also downhill. Final corner, stay in the middle. Too much triangle is not really good, and there's a lap of Auto Paradise Go Timber. And then yeah, this happened when the rain was getting down. My camera stand broke. It was not because of me climbing the curb too much. There's actually 2 reasons. One, it was actually rain, so my tape didn't hold on and it decided to take a piss. And then second off, I think it's because of that curb, but it kept getting worse and worse. So I had to fail at some point. But you can clearly see the car behind us and that guy's come up to the pit. So, and then this footage actually looks really good, but then it was actually so wet then because then my shoes actually soaked because it was gonna rain so hard after this. So yes, so it looks pretty good, the footage, you know? You can see the cars behind us, you can see everything when you're not seeing the front camera. So anyways, it stayed like that, and then I didn't realize that my camera was actually gone, so you can see it's so close to exhaust at this point. Came to the pits, I had some bit of confusion. You will hear soon. You have to listen to this. Not yet. You can see the pits, the atmosphere. I actually pulled into my pits here. This guy's getting his car lifted out. So next conversation is really funny. You can hear this.
Oh. Okay. Camera gone. Yeah.
Yeah, last practice in the rain now. After the competition was done, you can see the track dried out a lot. And after that, we actually had some dry running. I was really happy to do some dry running. So yes, our pace in the rain was mega. Oh, and that guy spun. Actually, you didn't see that guy actually took him out. They actually took a racing incident though. Something can happen like that in practice. It's not really nothing to mind about that. So yes, turn 1 we carried out speed. Turn 2, I'm almost fast in turn 2 because the reason is when it actually came, I tried so hard in braking that I actually went off like 10 times. So I know the limit, and of course I climbed the curb. Here we actually made a mistake here. I fixed that in the race, so we don't have to go straight. And then in turn 3, my line was the best. I checked already, and then you have to climb the curb here. Don't go too wide, don't go too middle. It depends on the track condition, because on Sunday it was different a lot because the dry running, they actually left some rubber on the track. So yes, you can see we caught up to the group ahead of us really fast, but then we end of the session now. So I'm gonna go to some dry running. You'll definitely be happy to see some dry footage. Yes, we're starting my first ever laps in dry sessions. I wasn't surprised it was 1 second of the pace. I was only 8/10 of the pace. Here we get involved into some action at the first session, and the guy with us was actually one of the fastest drivers, both in dry and rain. So here we have a fellow international driver. We go for a dive bomb here. I totally cooked this one. I was put into the wall, so it was clearly my bad. I think I overspeed over there, so we lost 2 positions there. And in this track, it was actually so slippery in this session, you can see, because the track just... And in turn 3, my coach says there would be no turn 3. Turn 4, my coach says there is a dangerous spot in the middle of the track. There's a hole, so the water gets stuck in there, so people spin a lot on that surface. Here's why I couldn't complete that dive bomb, which reason I almost stayed out. So yes, last session anyways, I go on new tires just for qualifying run. Here's a hot lap. Just lift a little bit, I turned it too early here. I didn't do track limits there. If I hit the yellow curb, I think my chassis would be bent. Turn 2. Turns out my wet running didn't turn on anything. Like all my wet things didn't make me fast in the dry. Turn 3 is basically the same line, but you just have to clip that exit curve. You don't go too wide here. Turn 4, use whole track so you can get good speed. You have to be late here, really late here. Lift down the hill. This corner T-forces are really high, so when you go down the hill, if you're not really fit, your neck's gonna hurt. So let's go to Rio DG, shall we?
Okay guys, that's day 2 done for today at Auto Paradise Gotemba for the EMA Asia Cup in Japan. So this day, I was really happy that I got to run in the dry, because for the past 2 days, 1.5 days, I ran in the wet. So now I know that in the wet, our pace is really good. We're among the top group, but in the dry, I'm still off the pace by a lot, but I hope to improve tomorrow. After the session though, I went track walking with my coach. He told me, he gave me a few pointers, and I feel like I can improve a lot tomorrow. But as I said, my time on the dry is still really slow, and the main reason is I actually drove only 3 sessions in the dry, but I drove a lot in the wet. So that means basically I got more practice in the wet than the dry. So I don't know what's the condition gonna be like tomorrow, but if it's dry, then I need to improve the dry rings. If it's wet, then I need to improve too. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'm gonna do a summary tomorrow. Bye.
Warm-ups on Saturday, so it was interesting to see how my pace improved, which we actually improved. We had the oldest tires in the field, but we went 13th position, so that was nice, but then it's not good for my standards, and I'm here to win. But unfortunately, in qualifying, my team made a mistake by picking up the wrong spark plug, which made our car even slower instead of faster, so it's really unfair. I actually got a good track position in qualifying, but unfortunately my car was a big struggle because the spark plug, there is too much oil going into there. We just keep losing pace, and in the final laps my car almost dropped. So but hey, I'm not complaining because my car is struggling out of the corners, and unfortunately we had this problem for the whole day, which my car would just be so slow out of the corners and on the straights. So yeah, not ideal. So we ended up starting last in the heats, and I won't give you a spoiler until we see the heats footage of what actually happened. Unfortunately, our drive practice also held us back, but then I think if first place, the fastest guy would go drive my car, he would be somewhere in the midfield too, because I feel like my car's not going after grips. And I had to tune for almost the whole race. You guys know in X30 you need to tune the carburetor. That's what I did. My team said don't do it, but then when I actually did it, I went like 2 kilometers faster on the straight, so that was crazy. But hey, I'm not complaining. So we ended up starting the back that one because luckily so many penalties. So we go up to the warm-up here, and now switching to super heats, where turn 1 I had no plans, and you can see that guy's going slowly, so I just risk it here. And I cut the grass a little bit, I almost lose control, but then I gain a few positions on the back braking. So it's really risky, but that guy, you can see he goes around the outside. He actually did my move in the final, which was cut the grass. Because you get more speed, or you can overtake a few cars because the straight is pretty narrow. Here we go, but then we actually accidentally barge a guy, so racing instead. So we go for a move on number 16 here. We can't make the move sticks, and we spin. We actually hit her a little bit, so we spun, but then I didn't want to have an incident, so I decided to take a winding action myself. So you can see my rain pace is absolutely crazy. On the first 2 laps, I already gained back 3 positions, and then I would go on to absolute go barrage my way through the field. We did waste some time here because it was a lot of groups there. See this absolute mega dive bomb here.
ナドルの後ろに本間がいて小島がいてマナゴがいるとこの集団です、ポジション的には9番手争いというところですね。このナドルのあたりが騒がしい、2コーナーでも騒がしいぞ。黄色いヘルメットがナドルです。昨日のドライコンディションではいろいろあってですね、タイムトライアルから失格になっちゃったりとかして、アンラッキーなこともあったんですけれども、さあこの雨は練習走行の段階から早かったということで、ナドル今の段階でこの集団から抜け出しましたね。カーナンバー12ナドルイムジットパンヤ、さあ後ろのバトルから抜け出して単独走行に持ち込んできました。ナドルイムジットパンヤ、小林とイムジットパンヤのタイムギャップは1秒0というところです。
Back to the chase now. We overtake the LN cart for 8 positions. We finished P8 on that one, P6 after penalties. The translations were pretty correct because my Japanese teacher, she's from Thailand and she has a Japanese husband. So she kind of checked this already, so it's kind of correct.
9番グリッド12アップスピードナドルインジットパンヤ。
And I can already speak a little bit of Japanese, so that just helps the fact for me to translate easier. Anyways, going back to the race, I tried to go for a move here on the inside, but we just get cut off.
ちょっと離れて9番手カーナンバー15のマナゴが上がってきた。その後ろに雨が速いナドルがマナゴのインサイド入っていきます。黄色いヘルメットナドルイムジットパンヤ9番手に浮上。
Yes, after I overtook the guy back from my position, I'll proceed to overtake the number 14 guy. So he was not having any of that at all. He was pretty pissed, so he tried to go out inside, but I was not having any of that. So I went around the outside. He had to wait.
吉田次元カーナンバー17が上がってくる。後ろからカーナンバー12のナドルイムジットパンヤもナドルインジットパンヤタイからのドライバーです。日本では茂木や鈴鹿などのレースにも経験ある、そんなドライバーです。雨の方が早いということだと。
Okay, back to the chase. We overtook number 17. This would be our last cart we overtook because the front pace was just too far away. We pulled away from him already after 3-4 corners. He managed to stick with us in the S, but then in these turns he would get like pulled away. But then he was also really fast in the practice and in every session. You can see that's the race winner. Some of you guys may recognize him because he's a top 10 F3 driver.
Okay guys, we are really close to a trophy, but we're almost there. So I want to summarize how the weekend went. So yesterday, we did qualifying in the dry. So as you guys know, I have no pace in the dry at all because I did 0 practice. So we ended up qualifying not too good, but we got a DQ for an engine infringement. But the infringement wasn't even that bad because it actually made our kart slower instead of making it faster. So it's really unfair that I got DQ, but hey, I was still last anyways. And then the full day was full of engine issues. Everything was engine issues. Today we ended up starting at the back, but luckily our rain practice really helped us today because since we only practiced in the rain for 2 days and the drive for only 6 sessions, that meant I had a faster pace in the rain because I did more practice, and other people, they all raced like 6, 7 years, 8 years, so they have more experience for sure than me. So I got an advantage in the wet. Warm-ups went good. We were 5th. So our pace was really good even though we had old tires. In the superheats though, we almost started dead last. We actually made up a few positions, but unfortunately our collision dropped us down. But we absolutely bowled with our absolute mega pace, and we actually made up to finish P6 from being dead last out of 19 carts. So in the final, that meant we started P9, and it was really a little bit hard because we had fast drivers in the front now. So I made up 3 positions, and I actually got almost the fastest lap. We were actually top 3 pace, but unfortunately I started too far further back. And there was like 1 F3 driver, 1 F4 driver, and more. And there was actually 2 that the other guys were all front running drivers. in the biggest category in Japan. So I ended up finishing P6 in that one, so I was really close to a trophy, so I could top 5 get trophy. But hey, as Archie said, I'm not here to finish second. Of course, we're here to win, but not a bad debut in my first ever senior X30 race in Japan. We got more dry practice, I would have got a better result. But hey, I'm happy with my debut, and I'll see you guys next race. Bye!
If I actually got that P5, I would make history for app speed because they haven't got a podium in 5 years. In the senior class, of course, so that was disappointing. But hey, we move on, and I'm still very proud of myself. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Bye.